Hello, welcome to the Anatomy and Physiology class. I am Dr. Reginald Cannon. Today we're going to talk about the terms referring to location, direction, planes, and sections of the human body. So when we're talking about anatomy and physiology, we see there are two branches, like sisters. They're like sisters of the same, the same mother. The mother is biology. So biology is the study of all forms of life. It doesn't matter if it's a one-cell organism, if it's a multi-cell organisms, plants, animals, and humans. So biology is the study of all forms of life. Now, biology is considered as the mother, and anatomy and physiology, there are two branches. They are like sisters. So when we're talking about anatomy, we see the shape, we see the structure of the organism, we see the structure, the shape of the organs and also of the body system. But when we're talking about physiology, so physiology is all about the functions of the organs or the systems or the organisms in general. So this is the difference between anatomy and physiology. Physiology studies the function of each body part, the functions of the various body parts coordinate to form a complete living organism. And anatomy is all about the shape, the structure, also position and location of the organs, and also how the organs they work together to do they work together to do their function or their job. Now, any abnormal change in a structure or in the function of an organ or of the system that produces symptoms is considered as a disease. So as the definition of disease is any change we have, any abnormal change we have in the structure or the function of the organ or the system and produces symptoms. For example, if I hit, my head, on the wall, so maybe I'm going to feel a headache. So the headache is a symptom. The symptom tells you that there is a change. There is an abnormal change. It could be in the structure, or it could be also in the function of the organ or the system of the human body. Not only the human body, but the body in general, or the system in general. It could be an animal, it could be a human being. Now, look, so when we're talking about position, so this is how we locate, body parts. This is how the person has to stand up that way. So we can locate body parts. We can, learn about the position and the direction. Also, we have specific terms to talk about position and direction of the human body. For example, here we have posterior, anterior, cranial, caudal, superior, inferior, medial, lateral, proximal, distal, superficial, and deep. So we use those terms to refer to position when we're talking about position. The position, the direction of the organ in the body. For example, here, look at this picture we have here. So you see, to locate, or when we're talking about position, so this is the person has to stand up straight. The palms face anteriorly. The knees, elbow, and the neck are straight, not bent. The toes point anteriorly, and the fingers they point inferiorly. So they go in direction like to the bottom. This is that way we can have a very good anatomical position of the human body. Those are the terms we use and what they mean. So when we talk about interior or ventral, it means front or in front. Posterior or dorsal means back or in back of the body. When we're talking about cephalic, cephalic has to do with the skull, like the head end. and we're talking about caudal, it has to do with the tail end. So that means the end of the body at the bottom. All right. Superior means upper or above in order. And inferior refers to the lower part or below in order. Now, when we're talking about medial, it means like in the median plane of the body. That means in the midline, in the midline. And when we're talking about lateral, it means away or toward the side of the body. Proximal means toward the point of attachment to the body. So when we're talking about proximal or distal, we need to have a point of attachment or a point of reference. For example, if my shoulder is the point of reference or the point of attachment. Now, if I'm talking about this part here, my arm, so I'm going to use the term proximal to talk about this part because it's next to my shoulder. Now, if I'm talking about my hand, I'm going to use distal because it's away from the point of attachment, which is my shoulder. Superficial is, or we can use also external. For example, talking about the skin is external, it's outside. So we can use the term superficial. So it means it's near the surface of the body. Now, when we're talking about deep, so we're talking about internal. So to talk about all the internal organs, the organs we have on the inside, so we can use this term, which is deep, to talk about those organs we have on the inside of the human body. So we use the term superficial, deep, to talk about the organs we have near the surface of the body, and deep to talk about the organs we have on the inside of the human body. So here you can see those pictures here. This is how we use those terms to locate like position, but also to talk about direction. All right. You can see the picture. We have interior, ventral over here. Then we have posterior or dorsal. And then we have inferior if you're going to the bottom, the lower part, superior if you're going to the upper part of the body or the skull, the head end. And then we also have anatomical planes. So those planes we have here, this is when we need, for example, to study anatomy, we need to cut the body. So you need to cut the body so you can see the organs, their structure, and then also their position. So you can locate them, the structure, the position. That's all about anatomy. We cannot study anatomy if we don't cut, if we don't use dissection, when we can appreciate the organs, their structure, their shape, and their position. And all right. So here you can see we have like 3 different cuts here. We have the coronal plane, we have the horizontal plane, and we have sagittal plane. So if you look at the picture here, horizontal plane. So you can see any plane you have, any cut you have, horizontally, that's horizontal plane. We have sagittal plane. So any cut you have here, like this, that way, that's sagittal plane. Sagittal plane is going like this. And horizontal plane is going like this, okay? But also we have coronal plane, all right? Coronal plane is going like this. For example, here, if you have a plane like this here, okay, you're going to cut, okay, on this part here, from there down, so it's going to be coronal plane. And horizontal plane is going to be like this, horizontally. And then we also have sagittal plane, which goes like this here. Any plane you have like this, like in the midline that divides the human body a 2 equal parts from here, from the midline here, This is what we call sagittal plane. All right, so for today, this is all we have for today. I hope that you appreciate the video, and I'm going to be posting more videos for my students and for anyone who wants to learn a little bit about medicine, about anatomy, about physiology. And that's it. If you have any question, you let me know, and I hope you appreciate the video. And thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time.